Your mouth is moving, but you're not saying anything. You've got laryngitis. Well, how am I supposed to communicate with you? Oh.
Swimming with dolphins for the first time was very exciting.
Since they can't speak our language, we have to make assumptions about what they're feeling or experiencing based on their body language.
Next on SciGirls. Funding for SciGirls is provided by the following. The National Science Foundation, supporting education and research across all fields of science and engineering. The National Science Foundation, where discoveries begin.
Math and science are everywhere. They're the building blocks of tomorrow. That's why ExxonMobil sponsors programs to get kids excited about math, science, engineering, and technology. So one day they may become the scientists of the future.
SciGirls! We need SciGirls! Come on! When I need help and I've got a question, there's a place I go for inspiration. Gotta get to the web, check the girls' investigation. What girl? Want to get inside a world that's fascinating? The time is right. The SciGirls are waiting. SciGirls! We need SciGirls! SciGirls!
Huh? Mind warp. Your mouth is moving, but you're not saying anything. Come to think of it, that's not all that different than normal, except that I can't hear anything. What's up? Yeah, I know you saw Jetpack Man for the 6th time this weekend, but no amount of wishful thinking is gonna make flames shoot out of your feet. So you might as well just stop trying. What's with the face? Oh, you've got laryngitis. Well, why didn't you just say so? Oh. Right, you can't. Well, how am I supposed to communicate with you? Yeah, I know you're trying to tell me something, but I need a little help understanding you. SciGirls, coming at you. Whoa, whoa, Hey, that's interesting. Learning how to understand dolphins. That sounds promising.
Whoa, you saw that? What did I just jump? I know, super duper high.
I'm Cecilia, but all my friends and family call me Ceci, and I'm 14 years old. I love animals.
They're beautiful dolphins, oh my goodness. I'm Serena, and I'm 14 years old, and my dream ever since I was 3 was to swim with a dolphin.
They're so smart, look at how he does that.
The Dolphin Center is called Dolphins Plus, and they are allowing us to do our own investigation.
Dolphins Plus has a lot of bottlenose dolphins and a California sea lion. I'm really excited to be going there for our investigation. They move so smoothly and gracefully. They're kind of like the ballerinas of the water.
Hi, girls. Are you Sassy and Serena?
Yes, you must be Jill.
Yes.
Jill is a research scientist. She also works at the University of Miami, and she used to be a dolphin trainer.
Jill is going to help us figure out a good investigation to do with the dolphins and help us during the investigation.
Welcome to Dolphins Plus. We're so excited to have you guys here. Just want to tell you a little bit about our facility. We are a natural seawater facility. We have 15 Atlantic bottlenose dolphins and 1 California sea lion.
Hi. Hi, 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 hi.
And everything we do here is really to promote conservation and awareness about marine mammals.
How do you tell the dolphins apart since you have like 15 of them? That's pretty hard.
It is hard at first. We actually have this really great photo album that I would love to show you guys, and this would be our first step in helping you learn how to identify them. Let's go check that out. This is our family album, and we have a ton of pictures in here of each one of our dolphins and some of the identifying features we use. The dorsal fin is like a fingerprint. There are no two that are exactly identical. So this is Ding's, very triangular and short, and that's LB's. Huge difference. This is Mr. Elvis. He has a very short rostrum. The rostrum is their snout.
Dorsal fin, rostrum, lots to learn.
He's one of the darker dolphins that we have. Now, Miss Nika looks very different from Elvis. She's extremely slender. She has a very long, thin rostrum. Overall, she's very petite. Her dorsal fin is more triangular.
How old is Nika?
Nika just turned 5, and Elvis will be 5 shortly, in a couple of weeks.
When did you first know that you wanted to work with dolphins?
Well, my passion for the ocean started really young. I was born in Miami, but I actually lived on a boat with my whole family for about 2 years in the Caribbean. So I spent hours and hours every day snorkeling some of the most pristine marine environments in the Caribbean, and it really motivated me to pursue my studies to hopefully one day make a difference. I work at the University of Miami, so I teach undergrads, and I also run a nonprofit organization where I try to bring marine science experiences to underprivileged kids. I have a 3-year-old who thinks that it's normal to spend your life with dolphins. He is the light of my life. He's amazing.
After Jill gave us that ID book, that gave us a really good idea of who's who.
I would like to show you this DVD that we have. It is a bunch of different clips of dolphin behaviors. So since they can't speak our language, we have to try and make assumptions about what they're feeling or experiencing based on what we call nonverbal communication, so their body language.
That's what I have to do with Jake.
So these are orienting behaviors. What that basically means is that something has sparked the dolphin's interest. The one I mentioned, which is the one eye above the water, is the craning. Okay. Yeah. You saw a lot of that this morning. Yeah. They were checking you guys out. Orienting means they're interested in something going on around them.
So you guys ready? Yeah. All right, come on over this way.
We are going to do a structured swim where you're in a life vest. The trainer gives the dolphins instructions to do tricks and, kind of interact with you.
Oh, here comes Elvis and Nika. This is Robin.
So this is Elvis and Nika. And then you guys can slide on into the water. Are you guys excited? Yes. They would get so close that you just could reach out and touch them. They're gonna move back and forth underneath your hands. It's so cool. They're soft. Oh, really? Now, who's gonna be the brave guinea pig? All right, Cecilia, go on out in front of me. Bye, Cecilia.
Go, Ceci, go. Bye.
It's like a dream come true. Every little kid wants to swim with a dolphin.
Perfect! Woohoo! Swimming with dolphins for the first time was very exciting. That is perfect!
Splish splash! A kiss sandwich! Woohoo! Aww. Oh. Hey, synchronized swimming.
We got to rub their bellies, and they were very smooth and elegant feeling.
It was amazing. They're so smart.
They all did everything the trainer told them to do.
They're just like little kids. They like to play and interact with each other, talk to each other. Some of them are more outgoing and playful. Like Nika, she likes to kiss the cameras and everything. But Elvis takes a little more time.
Mwah.
That was just fantastic.
High five!
So what do you guys think so far?
It's awesome.
So much fun. After we looked around, we talked to Jill and started brainstorming ideas for our investigation. I read about this test that some scientists did with elephants about their self-awareness. They painted a white dot on their forehead and they put them in front of a mirror. After a couple seconds, the elephant realized that it was him, and he knows that the white dot's not supposed to be there. He tries to wipe it off. How do you think dolphins would respond to that self-awareness test?
Either it will think it's looking at another organism, or will recognize that it's looking at itself. There's very few animals that can look into a mirror and recognize that they're looking at themselves. And I think that we could definitely do something like this, although the scale would have to be a little bit smaller based on the time that we have here. One of the obvious things here is differences in age.
The dolphins that we swam with today, Elvis and Nika, they're like 5 years old, right?
Yes, they are.
They were young enough still that they were curious and playful and just really lively.
I think they might be perfect.
When we designed the self-awareness test, we decided that we would do a mirror test which was just showing the dolphins a mirror. We would do a streak test where we put a streak of zinc oxide on the dolphin's rostrum and show them the mirror. And we would do a control test, which would be showing them the flip side of the mirror to see if they were interested in the object or if they were actually interested in their reflections.
Mirror, streak, control tests. Got it.
In traditional self-recognition studies, you look for the animal to wipe the mark off. Dolphins' pec fins are not long enough, or they can't move them well enough to actually wipe something off of them.
We could write down the behaviors that we see and compare them to our list of the behaviors that we've already seen on the video.
Well, you basically just described something called an ethogram.
Ethogram is it's a kind of chart that is used to classify different behaviors. We wanted to make a simple ethogram, so we combined behaviors into groups. We have the ethogram, and we'll do the first test tomorrow morning.
Cross your fingers, they're very curious.
Yeah. I think they'll be curious.
This is why science is so cool.
So today's the first trial of the mirror test without the dot. What do you think is going to happen?
Probably be like scared.
I don't think they'll be that scared of the mirror. I'm going to record what I see, and she's going to time the behaviors. We timed 10 minutes for each trial, and in those 10 minutes, we timed the behaviors that the dolphins exhibited.
Robin's here to help us with this. As we know, she is Elvis and Nika's trainer.
Every investigation has its constraints. In this case, it was the trainers having to be there. It worked for the dolphins, worked for the trainers, and it ended up working for us. Let's see what happens.
Time starts now.
She kissed it 3 seconds.
That was kind of cool.
That was cool. She's just like,
That was really cool.
So she's like kind of
interested.
getting into it.
Yeah, so maybe she's investigating the surface of the mirror to see what that's like.
The first time when Nika targeted the mirror, it was, wow. It was just like, oh my goodness, she's looking at the mirror. She's figuring out what's this. It was just so cool.
Touch it again.
Wait, I'll tell you. 6 seconds. This is so cool.
So cool. I can't even see her.
Training.
It's cool. Time. That was awesome.
Nika was curious about the mirror, and she touched it, and she was looking at it a lot.
Now we're testing Elvis.
Okay, Elvis.
Just looking at it underwater.
Where'd he go? 1 minute and 11 seconds away.
Elvis was kind of scared of the mirror. He didn't really want anything to do with it, kept swimming away, didn't really want to be near it. He kind of checked it out a couple times, but from a distance.
Probably thinks that what's in that mirror is bigger than him. 31 seconds relaxing.
That behavior is called holding.
Okay.
Time.
Elvis was not all that interested. So our relaxing thing was holding.
The dolphins are trained when they're not sure what they're supposed to be doing. They hold on the platform, so they put their rostrum on the platform, and essentially they're just waiting for instructions from their trainer. Describe to me what she was doing to the mirror. All I could feel was the mirror going like this.
No, she was just kind of
going
sticking
up
her
and
nose up,
kissing it.
kind of like with the camera lens. That when you film the dolphins, they want to go up and kiss it.
We call that targeting, and she was coming up and targeting on it, and she was like touching it and exploring it.
We are very happy with the first test. The first test gave us a lot of results that we weren't expecting in 10 minutes.
So what do you think's gonna happen this time?
I think maybe Nika will be more investigative.
Okay, start.
13 seconds.
She's waiting for another command. Nika, she did less because this time Robin was giving her commands every 3 minutes, and she started holding more to look for more commands.
Okay, start.
Elvis heading your way fast. Elvis is heading to you, Lindsay.
There's obviously a fear issue here with him.
Elvis did less orienting, and he swam away a lot too. He's just disliking this mirror more and more. It's day 2 of our self-awareness test. We're going to do the 3rd trial of our mirror test.
You're orienting?
Holding 30 seconds.
18 seconds.
Nika's kind of starting to give up on like, well, she's not gonna tell me what I'm supposed to do, so I'm just gonna leave. But Elvis actually stayed there and started checking it out a little bit. He wasn't swimming away as much at the end.
5 seconds. Orienting.
He might be getting used to it there.
Hi, I'm Cecilia. Every day after school, I come and I volunteer at my school's vet program. Right now we're in the barn, and here we have goats, miniature horses, turkeys, show chickens, and pheasants.
Okay, guys. Bye.
The cutest trio in the world.
So for our next experiment, we're going to mark a line on their rostrum and see how they react to it with the mirror.
Targeting. Nika did a lot more targeting.
It was really interesting because it kind of restored her interest in the mirror.
Came to her left.
She started looking at it more, and it wasn't just targeting, there was looking around too.
She came mostly to her right, which was a good sign that she was noticing something.
Orienting, targeting, lots of new things to learn.
Elvis kind of surprised me. He craned a lot, and there was a lot of like
going back
look at this side, then compare it to the other side kind of thing. One time he kind of stood like in front of the mirror, kind of just looking at his right side, then he turned to his left, then he turned to his right side again, looking into the mirror.
So that was trying to tell us like he was comparing a little.
I think that this kind of shows us that there's a pretty good chance that they could be self-aware.
All right, ladies, let's do this.
4 seconds targeting. Nika, I think, in this most recent trial, she was targeting for longer periods of time, but at her eye level. I don't know why she changed that. She used to be targeting way up where Robin's hand was.
Yeah.
She was orienting more.
Yeah, a lot more.
And so was Elvis.
Yeah, a lot
more. Way more interesting.
Yeah, that's
I almost
good.
ran out of space.
That's
on my
very
chart.
good.
In the middle of our investigation, we had to go to the Wildlife Center.
We volunteer at the Wildlife Center, and it's the greatest experience ever. You get to clean cages and feed animals. Hi, Sophia. We're gonna clean you up today.
She is around 50 years old, and that's Charles. He's like 90. So some of the animals that I take care of regularly are the tortoises, like the Aldabras and the Redfoots.
Boy, that salad looks good.
We feed them and get in their pen, and we hose them down every day.
Don't forget under the arms.
He likes it when we went to his head, so sticking out his head for more. The best part about it is when you do shows.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Science Museum. These are my 2 friends.
It's a show where you bring out some animals for people to look at and touch and educate them on the animals that you have here. Helping out these animals is like a small step for me to be a conservation biologist.
What if we had a toy that we could put inside the dolphin's mouth? They would pass by the mirror with the toy in their mouth. They'd probably be interested. It could work.
Test 3, toy test.
We ended up adding the toy test. We hoped that it would make the dolphins more interested in the mirror.
4 seconds holding. 3 seconds holding without toy.
Nika's first trial with the toy, she was holding a lot, targeting with the toy several times. She was actually looking at the mirror a couple times, but mostly just targeting with the toy and holding.
Now we're going to do Elvis's first trial with the toy. Elvis is away fast. Get it. We are looking for the toy that we have lost. Okay. You need to go get me that toy.
Elvis, what'd you do with the toy?
I went to hide it.
That's not it, no.
All right, Elvis took the toy and like stashed it somewhere. So we're gonna try using his favorite toy, which is this ball. Okay, now he's playing with the ball again.
But Elvis was just like, okay, toy, bye.
Let me go play.
He didn't look at the mirror one time. Look how much data we collected for Elvis.
Not a good ethogram. What'd you say, Nika?
Nika, first trial did some targeting, second trial no targeting at all.
Exactly.
And with Elvis, the same thing, except this time he spy hopped for 2 seconds.
Spy hopping, where they lift their head directly up out of the water.
So I guess they're more interested in the toy than in the mirror. Hi everybody, this is Serena. I love stuffed animals. Here's my book and my 3D glasses. These are how these 3D glasses look on me, and aren't they very interesting? This is a portrait of me when I was younger. These are all my friends that have written on my board. I have like lots of jewelry. There's a little ballerina. These are my birds. So this is all I have to show you right now. This is everything cool about me.
During our control, we'll find out if they're interested in the mirror as an object or if they're actually looking at the reflection.
Start. She held for 30 seconds. She's target 1 second. She is just holding.
She doesn't seem to be interested. So this is trial 1 with Elvis with the control. I think he's going to do the same thing as Nika.
So are you predicting that this isn't going to be so interesting?
Yeah, probably. Gone. 6 seconds. 30 seconds. Holding.
The control of our test showed us that the dolphins weren't really interested in the mirror as an object. That would mean that when they were interested in the actual mirror, there's a good chance that they were interested in their own reflections. So that was our last test.
It's possible that this time they were just looking at a plain brown surface and it wasn't interesting enough to even want to spend more than 5 seconds in front of us. But let's see what your data says. That's how we make a story out of all the time we've spent collecting this data. You guys have worked really hard.
I can't wait to see it.
We'll see you guys later.
All right. Hi, girls.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's good.
Very excited to see what you guys found.
We have 3 graphs here.
Very nicely done. They look beautiful.
I like to graph because it kind of gives me a visual representation of math.
What are they telling us?
So this is our orienting graph, and it shows the percentage of time that the dolphins were exhibiting orienting behavior towards the mirror during all the trials in the mirror test, the mark test, the toy test, and control test. Here's our disinterest graph.
And here is our targeting graph.
Really nicely done. Now, can we talk about what these things mean? Maybe starting with the orienting one?
So our orienting graph, we added up all the seconds that they were orienting towards the mirror. So we decided that that was interest in the mirror, like as a reflective surface, and we decided to leave targeting out of that because it was more of an interest in the object itself. During the mirror test, Nika was orienting the most, and during the mark test is when Elvis was orienting the most.
So in the case where they're looking at just the mirror or they have a mark on their head, it looks like they were spending more time orienting towards it.
In our targeting graph, Nika was more interested in the mirror test, and Elvis didn't target at all. In the mark test, Nika targeted 26% of the time, and Elvis still did 0%.
Our disinterest graph shows the percentage of time that they were disinterested in all the different tests. During the mirror test and the mark test, they were the least disinterested.
So you're noticing individuality.
Yeah,
which
like
is
different levels of intelligence or different ways that they learn things.
So it's amazing that you picked up on that in such a short time here.
What's cool about this is there is a good chance that they might actually be self-aware.
They're not behaving socially towards the mirror. They don't think they're looking at another dolphin. They are investigating the mirror's surface. They are looking at the reflection, but whether or not that's interesting to them, we don't know.
We should put these up on the website. This is a good starting point if somebody else wanted to pick it up.
Exactly, and that's where all good ideas begin, from projects like this.
So thank you so much for this opportunity. I was very happy to have Jill working with us.
You guys did an incredible job taking this from start to finish, so you'll just have to come back and visit us sometime. We're gonna miss you.
Yeah. I'm very grateful to have this experience. I had a lot of fun. This is just a great opportunity, and I'm so glad that I got to be there.
Mask, check. Snorkel, check.
At the end of our investigation, we decided that we wanted to have some time to say goodbye to the dolphins.
The best part of this whole experience was watching the dolphin in the mirror, how they react. It's something cool. It makes me want to be a scientist just from the experience.
This experience has definitely given me some insight into how the dolphins behave and what amazing creatures they are. And I'm definitely going to take a piece of this with me. We had a really nice last swim.
Bye, guys. Okay, to understand what you're trying to tell me, I need some information. First, here's a control picture of what you look like when you're happy. Hold that. And now I know if you make that face, you are unhappy. Itching powder. Okay, so this is how you look when you're itchy, and... Yep, I think we're about done. So now I'll know by the look on your face and my knowledge of your past reactions to different things how you're feeling. Surprise! Although it's starting to look a little bit like mad again. I still don't know what you're trying to say. Hey, I have green stuff stuck in my teeth. Oh, this is so embarrassing. You could have told me. Yeah, I still don't know what you're trying to say. Oh, the dolphins were easier to understand than you.
We're looking at the mirror so that we can determine where the dolphins can see themselves.
Is the angle right, do you think? Or is
Yeah, the angle's perfect. Once they're past the mirror, like when they're holding, can't see themselves up.
Do you think when she's targeting, there's any way to avoid looking at herself? I mean, go that close to the mirror.
I'm targeting.
Is there any way to not see yourself?
Nope. You're standing here, you can see yourself. Even if
Like
you're
standing
underwater,
straight.
I can see my hands moving underwater.
We decided to build a basking turtle platform.
We wanted to learn what we could do about the population.
I'm holding a snapping turtle!
This week at archaeology camp, we're trying to find out about the Fremont people.
Climbing.
I can't wait to start trying to find these artifacts.
I thought it was nothing until I started digging.
We're gonna set up our own mini wind farm.
We were just really awestruck at the size of these huge wind turbines.
Wind power.
Yeah!
Funding for SciGirls is provided by the following. The National Science Foundation, supporting education and research across all fields of science and engineering. The National Science Foundation, where discoveries begin.
Math, science, and curious young minds. They're our future. That's why ExxonMobil and former astronaut Sally Ride created the Sally Ride Science Academy to help teachers inspire our students so they may become the scientists and engineers of tomorrow.
Hey there! Hi! The SciGirls website is off the hook. You can set up a profile, find new friends, create a page for your science project, watch SciGirls videos, and have fun. So come on, be a SciGirl on pbskidsgo.org. See you there! Bye!